Hey, Huckster here. A Christian on YouTube has left the faith, and it appears that the reason she has left is because of the doctrines of demons that came from a couple of sources that got mingled in with the Bible. At a time of the Babylonian captivity, they derived it from the source of Persian magic, and afterwards, during the Greek supremacy in Egypt, the people were in close intercourse with the foreigners, and added to the magician's notion those that they borrowed from the Egyptian Grecian source. You had the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the Essenes, the Platonic, and the Pythagorean notions that intermingled with Oriental doctrines. And this unfolded the germ of the Hellenistic philosophy. This was the state of things when Jesus Christ appeared on earth. You can't make what the Bible says talk about eternal torment in a hell. And most Christians will say it's ruled over by Satan and his demons. You know, you have to have an open mind when you go into studying scriptures. Paul commanded that the Ephesians, those Christians, test things. For you were once darkness, but now light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, proving what is well pleasing to the Lord. You have the word Sheol and Hades used in the Old Testament and the New Testament. A lot of times Sheol is just plainly used as the unseen. It's never a place where any kind of eternal punishment is going on. David spoke of going to Sheol in Psalm 49. Jesus supposedly went there. In all these cases, these men were in the unseen because they were dead. Sometimes Sheol is used as national judgment. Isaiah said the Babylonians would go to Sheol, and they did. Tyre was to go to Sheol. Tyre vanished. Tyre became unseen. It was national judgment on Tyre. If you read the Bible and keep up with the story, you know that Jesus is talking about a judgment coming on that nation of Judah, the nation of Israel, in that first century. Where had they got their beliefs? From Platonism, from Persian magic, from the Egyptians' view of Hades. The Septuagint writers replaced the word Sheol, which had a meaning of grave, a place, abode of the dead, with the Egyptian belief in Hades, where Charon ferried the dead souls across the river Styx to either one of three places, a place of unpleasantness, a place of doom and gloom, or a place that wasn't either of those two things, where souls just wandered around for eternity. It was guarded by a big dog. The Septuagint writers replaced Sheol with the word Hades, the god of this underworld, which then became the underworld itself. Hades is always used as anything unseen. It's the equivalent to Sheol, not the equivalent to the Hellenistic belief in an underworld of punishment. The Bible doesn't use Hades exclusively for any reason. Luke pictures righteous Lazarus there. Says that Jesus went there in Acts. Corinthians, Paul used the same word when he said, "O grave, where is thy victory?" In Revelation, Jesus said he had the controlling keys over it. The word is used for national judgment, the same as its companion word in the Old Testament, Sheol, also was used of national judgment. But the Greek mythology got mingled in with Christianity. In Greek mythology, Hades was the god of the underworld. We need to make sure that our ideas concerning Hades come from the Bible and not from Greek mythology. If you look at some of the stories in the Bible, Adam and Eve were in the garden. They were not told of an eternal punishment in a hell. Cain and Abel, that story doesn't mention an eternal punishment in a hell. Noah and the flood doesn't mention it. Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not brought up under the Mosaic law. Where did the concept of endless torment come from? Didn't come from the Old Testament, either before or during the Mosaic law. There's a great deal of evidence that suggests that it originated in Egypt. And the concept was widespread in the religious world. Augustine, who many people read and respect, commented on the purpose of the doctrine of hell. Says it seems to have been done on no other account, but as it was the business of princesses out of their wisdom and civil prudence to deceive the people in their religion. Princesses under the name of religion persuaded the people to believe those things true, which they themselves knew to be idle fables. By this means, for their own ease and government, tying them the more closely to civil society. Were these doctrines to control people? Who would have believed it? The Greeks did, the Romans did, and evidently between the Testaments, the Old Testament and the New Testament, the Jews got involved. The concept of endless torment began to appear in the Apocrypha books. And these books were written by Egyptian Jews in the interim between the Old Testament, last book Malachi, and the first book Matthew. These were people coming out of Babylonian captivity who had intermingled with these people for 70 years, picked up their beliefs and fables. Many historians say things like, since the multitude is ever fickle, full of lawless desires, irrational passions, and violence, there is no other way to keep them in order but by the fear and terror of the invisible world. On which account our ancestors seem to me to have acted judiciously when they contrived to bring into popular belief these notions of the gods and the infernal regions. Other historians speak of it in the same spirit. They praise the wisdom of Numa because he inverted and invented fear of the gods as a most efficacious means of governing an ignorant and barbarous populace. Plato, in his commentary, fully endorses what he says respecting the fabulous invention of these foreign torments. People say things about Plato, that they invented fables concerning the future judgments of hell. A lot of historians blame Plato for attempting to deter men from wrong by frightful stories of future punishments. Many of our early Christian fathers admitted to believing in Platonism. Aristotle said it has been handed down in mythical form from earliest times to posterity, that there are gods, and that the divine compasses all nature. All besides this, he has been added after the mythical style for the purpose of persuading the multitude and for the interest of the laws and the advantage of the state. Hell was made up to control the people. But today in Christianity, it's a whole different story. Hell is promoted as truth. I have even been told that if I don't believe in hell, I'm going there, simply because I don't believe in it. It's paganism. Paganism has marched its way through Christianity and is now at the forefront of the battleground. When they lose a brother or sister in the faith, they try to bring them back into their belief in hell, devils and demons, and that the end of the world is at hand. Many of the comments I read about this Christian losing her faith has said things like, in these days of pestilence, famine, earthquakes, now is the time to be closer to the Lord. It's fear tactics. Christians are big on it. But when death or tragedy hits close to home, close to your heart, you see the horror of what you've been teaching for so long. It's not Christianity. I hate to have to say that to all you Christians. It's not Christianity. It's belief in demons, doctrines of demons and devils. Jesus taught of a destruction that was coming on the nation of Judah, the nation of Israel, in that first century. And why was this destruction coming on them? Because they believed much like Christians do today. And if you go against these Christians, they will attack you with a vengeance. And they'll eliminate you from comment sections. They'll do everything they can to destroy truth. This is Christianity today, modern Christianity. Don't go against their doctrines of devils and demons that has been proven to be false, or you'll end up on the rejection heap. This is just my 2 cents worth. This is Huckster saying peace, love, justice, understanding,